Are you sitting down? Lena Dunham gave her dog back. Yeah, for reals. What's happening? How come everybody's so caught up in this story? Well, it starts 4 years ago when Lena Dunham adopted a dog named Lambie. And since then, it's been a series of long statements, long New Yorker pieces where she's talking about how much she loves this dog and how difficult it's been. And then also photos she's posted of the dog having bitten her butt and her bleeding, statements that the dog has attacked various people, but she's had it for 4 years and finally gave it back, and people are upset. This is a photo of her with her dog. Recently on Instagram, after giving the dog back, she posted a painting that she did of it with a much longer than this caption saying, "When I met him, I knew we'd have an amazing journey, but his aggression, which was unpredictable, and his particular issues, which remain myriad, weren't manageable, at least not by me. I did what I thought the best mother would do, which was to give him a life that provided for his specific needs. He'd been with me for nearly 4 years and I was his mom. I was in the best position to discern what those needs were. After countless hours of training, endless financial support, and a lot of tears, he was given access to a better life. I still support him financially and I'll always be there for him in every way, but he's notably happier in his new surroundings. Why should this story be the subject to scrutiny and anger? It is willfully misunderstanding the truth." People on both sides are irate. What do you think?
Hot dog, this is strange.
Lena's sacrificial Lambie.
Damn, dog. This is crazy.
There's just a lot to unpack.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Where do we start?
We start with the fact that Lena Dunham is someone that I only know through the show Girls and I don't even think I get it anymore, but like that newsletter from her website. Lenny. So I know that. And so it's tough to know who she is as an actual person, because I think a lot of what she does in her personal life bled over into Girls. And so it was always this like meta show eventually where she realized she was being the worst. And what was okay is you could identify with the way she was the worst. And she was refreshingly open about how she had shortcomings. But the problem is, at the end of the day, with statements like the one she made on her Instagram post, it's like just because she is not fully aware that she's the worst mother, because at the end of the day, she just like gave the dog away. She's like, I tried really hard, but I couldn't fix it. But you gave up. You probably got this dog not as a dog, because it's a freaking dog. You need to treat it a certain way, but you're getting it as an accessory.
Well, okay, so she wrote this long New Yorker piece right before, I guess like right after she adopted the dog, that sort of is way too long and sort of chronicles her experience with dogs from a young child to getting her where she was today, or whenever this article was written, I think in 2013 when she adopted the dog. And she talks about how she's like, I'm like the worst person for a dog. Like I don't like having responsibilities, and I don't like to go outside, and I like to like sleep in or whatever. So I got a dog.
And her boyfriend's allergic.
Her boyfriend's allergic. And then she said, she's like, people think I'm self-absorbed. Maybe if I adopt a dog, people won't think that anymore, because she adopted a dog, which is just like sort of like a bizarre premise to then go into like owning a dog. And I don't know. I don't know the dog's behavioral problems. She tried to document them like with the butt picture. She had the trainer come out and make a statement and saying that they couldn't overcome the dog's behavioral
problems. But there's
problems.
conflicting, go for it.
Remember the shelter.
Right, the shelter says something else.
The shelter also came out, so we're hearing stuff from the trainer and from Lena, and then the shelter came out being like, we have no idea what these behavioral issues are that Lena is referring to, because when we had this dog in our care, this was it was perfectly well behaved, blah, blah, blah. It's hard to know who's telling the truth. I think there were some behavioral problems for sure, but why would a shelter? I mean, I don't know. I guess this
she just said like, oh, the dog had 3 owners and 3 names before me. It was abused as a puppy, and the shelter's like, how would you know any of that?
No.
Like, there's not enough information for you to know that.
This is the plot of the end of Girls. Like, not to spoil the show, but she has like I've given you enough time. She has a baby, and the justification she gives for having the baby after she gets pregnant unexpectedly are the same that Hannah just mentioned about getting the dog. It's like, I'm irresponsible, maybe this is the thing that I need. The same criticism I have of her in this situation is the same criticism I have in the show, which is like, they never actually overcome any obstacles, and they never experience the kind of physical, like character change that you that you would hope someone would go through.
And it feels weird that she just got 2 more dogs also.
They never learn.
Very strange to me. And as someone who is, so you guys know that I had a dog named Casper. He was 80 pounds, he was a pit bull. He had major behavioral problems and he had a dark past that was proven by like the scars on his face and on his legs. Like there was some sort of a fighting situation, probably amateur, whatever. It took a long time to figure out what we needed to do. And it was really stressful to take him on walks sometimes, and it was not an easy transition, but I didn't expect it to be. I didn't expect him to just be this like fun thing to have in my life. It was honestly, when I got Casper, it was not because I wanted to get Casper, it was like, fuck, there's something about this stupid soul, and I think that I think we need each other, and we were there for each other. And I think that sort of like you stick by each other. He was endlessly loyal to me, and I was like, I know that you're afraid of some stuff, and we're gonna figure out how we can do it. And I went to a whole bunch of trainers, and I threw money that I did not have at things that did not work. And you stick by the animal. And had a trainer, this is what I will say, had a trainer come to me, a trainer that I knew was really reaching Casper, and said, I think that this is above your pay grade. I think that like we could do better if like we give him in this environment. Given his documented past history, that's something I would be open to. But I still was like, I'm gonna do everything that I can do as his mom. And I just, it does feel like she kind of gave up on this dog. And
yeah,
and I think that like, I just feel like dogs don't give up on you, and Lammy must be really confused right now, especially if it's true that the dog did have 3 previous owners. Well, now it has a 5th one. You go through Lena as the 4th, and now a 5th owner. Like, how is that helping?
Yeah, one thing is like, why should this? She says, why should this story be the subject of scrutiny and anger? Why do you think it resonates so much with people? Like why? Like I have these really strong feelings about it that I found myself screaming, like just yelling just now.
Right.
Why do people care?
Yeah, I think it's hard because pets people treat as their like children sometimes. And she says that she's like the mother and you want to show this love and affection. And sometimes you're put in a position, I understand people, we cannot understand what other people's circumstances are, right? Where you have to give up a dog, which is devastating. And I think the problem is the framing around when she first got the dog, her experience with the dog, when she gave up the dog, everything just seems like a little disingenuous and it just feels icky. Like when you're reading it, it just feels wrong. And so I think when she gave up the dog, maybe people were upset, but then especially when the shelter came out and said, hey, a lot of the information that she's spreading around the dog just like isn't true or isn't, backed up, then I think that's what got people really upset. Just like she's capitalizing on something that's so emotional for people and trying to like fit some storyline that's just not there.
It's really damaging for people like myself who feel really strongly about the benefits of supporting your local shelters and the volunteers that do really good work there. That's something that is so important to me, especially since Casper has passed away, just going back and like thanking the shelter for the hard work that they do, because they want to get to know these dogs, because they want to clear the shelters out. They want them to be adopted, and they will be really honest with you. I mean, I'm sure there's some shitty shelters, sure, but there are some really great ones too that do good work. And when you have such a big public figure like this coming out and being like, oh, I had this dog with all this myriad of issues, and they just kept coming out.
Did she adopt the other 2 new ones?
I'm not sure about the 2 new dogs.
I don't know. I've seen pictures of them, and they both look the same. They're like these little poodle-looking brown things, but they are adorable looking and smaller. The problem is, it's the brilliance of her art is how both aware and unaware of herself she is at the same damn time.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what has happened. So you have this artist who has this weird thing that connects with people, these crippling neuroses. And unfortunately, this is something that should be only in the Showgirls, where it has no actual consequences in the real world, but those consequences have bled over into real life that affect not only this dog, but that bleed over out of her underpants, which thank you for that image, Lena Dunham, into real life, and not only affect her, but affect like the general adoption community. And it's just not okay, but I also feel bad about how passionate I am about it, because it's just Lena Dunham.
It's true.
But I hope
it doesn't affect us at all, but it also affects us.
Yeah, and I know like a couple who had a baby for this reason, like they had and they don't live here, so it's like if you think it's you, it's not you. But like they had a baby and they treat it like an accessory, and it's like that thing has no chance because you just had a kid to be more interesting. And it sucks, it's not fair.